Philosophy is a diverse field that addresses the supposedly fundamental questions about reality no one's ever asked before, and throughout history, many of its greatest minds have shaped the way we think today. For example, Socrates taught people to question their fundamental beliefs. Friedrich Nietzsche taught the Germans the idea of the perfect human. And Karl Marx said sharing is caring. He wasn't asking. Being such an important field of thought, with the potential to shape people into intelligent and responsible members of society, philosophy is hardly ever taught in the American classroom. However, that doesn't mean that English teachers can't find a way to somehow jam it into their schedules. The first experience most students will have with philosophy will be in the school's honor code. In the beginning of the school year, the teachers will probably hand out a sheet of rules that details how we should behave. In the world of philosophy, this is known as the social contract, and while its ramifications can be further explored by reading the works of John Locke, Rousseau, Thomas Hobbes, and others, it's just simpler to do what it says. Don't be late to class unless you have a pass. Don't use the works of others unless you can cite it. Don't use racial slurs until you have at least one black friend. And finally, never disrespect others, unless they're into that. Now, beyond a simple sheet of rules, the most common way to properly introduce students to philosophy is usually through moral dilemmas. Moral dilemmas are a popular topic in English classes, probably because its ubiquity means that English teachers can just find the lesson plans of other teachers online that they can then plagiarize word for word and get away with it, as if they weren't before. The most common dilemma is the trolley problem, where a trolley is barreling down a railway about to hit 5 people, and the only thing you can do is pull a lever to divert the trolley into a rail with only 1 person. Unfortunately, discussions on this topic are limited by students with no prior experience in such situations, so it always turns into an argument on whether it's edgier to be charged with 5 counts of manslaughter, or just a single count of murder. If they weren't such filthy casuals, then the students would have known that the true answer is multi-track drifting. Another way to introduce students to philosophy that comes to mind is the Socratic seminar. These are group activities where a teacher will create a forum for students to ask questions and discuss answers freely without being restricted by the normal classroom setting. The teacher will usually try to help students to open up and share their ideas by reminding them that there are no right answers, but there certainly are wrong ones. In practice, Socratic seminars tend to follow one of 2 paths, passive or active. In the passive Socratic seminar, everyone finds out that they completely agree with each other on the topic and proceed to spend the next half hour complimenting each other's intelligence, parroting exactly what the last person said, losing all semblance of individuality, and eventually will merge their souls into a collective hive mind capable of summoning the old ones. It's basically the boys' locker room experience. In an active Socratic seminar, each corner of the political compass will send forth their most radical member as their champion to fight to the death in a battle royale against the other extremists, while the rest of the students cheer them on. If there's no clear winner by the end of class, just swing by the boys' bathroom after school. Now, if you're really lucky, your class may host the final and least common way of getting students interested in critical thinking, debates. Unlike Socratic seminars, classroom debates are better at deciding who won, so it doesn't take a quick trip to the bathroom after school to get a happy ending. Unlike the disorganized nature of seminars, debates will divide 2 people into opposing sides of a single issue, and then force them to take turns speaking for a limited amount of time to convince the audience that their position is factually and morally superior in every possible way on a topic that has no answer by definition. Although the only thing either debater will realize is that they chose the wrong side, this is not the true purpose of a debate. Debates offer people a chance to learn new ideas and the theory behind them by watching the world's greatest minds and orators practice their craft. And honestly, what better way is there to end this video than to show some of the 20th century's most famous figures and the lessons that they've imparted onto us? Harry S. Truman, 33rd President of the United States, winner of the Second World War. Sometimes it takes more than one to get the job done. Mahatma Gandhi, lawyer, Indian anti-colonial activist, respecter of women. If she's old enough to be wed, she can sleep in my bed. And finally, Hayao Miyazaki, Japanese animator, filmmaker, and creator of some of the most internationally acclaimed works of Japanese animation. Anime was a mistake.